came over here, wrote about the natives of the Americas. There's multiple books. In fact, they even wrote books about the people that were brought here for slavery being Jews. One guy was by the name of Dr. Abernathy. It's on Amazon. He wrote a book back in the 1800s called A Jew, a Negro. He was a minister out in, I think, somewhere in the South, I don't know, South Carolina or one of them areas, and he was a minister, and he admitted that the people that they had in slavery were the actual Jews. He wrote a book about it called A Jew, a Negro. He wrote it back in the 1800s. It's on Amazon. You know, I think I had the book either on ebook, and then the natives of the Americas, they wrote countless books, at least a dozen books that the natives of the Americas were the lost 10 tribes. This is from conquistadors, this is from English settlers, they all wrote it. So this is just now the prophecies, there are certain prophecies that fit each of these tribes, and it just so happens that when you go through the prophecies, they happen to have to fit this. Now, aside from the book, there's books where the natives of some of these lands said that they came from these particular groups. For example, I don't know if I have the book here with me. Issachar, right? There's a book called History of the American Indians by Lee Huddleston. This book is published by the University of Texas. Okay? It's called The History of the American Indians. It's on Amazon by Lee Huddleston. You've had multiple letters written by conquistadors that said that the natives of Mexico, the Aztecs, said that they're descendants of Issachar. Now, Issachar in the Hebrew is Yashashka. Now, what are Mexicans? It's a nomen omen. What are Mexicans known for? If you need to get something done, if you need to get your car fixed, you need to get your mown lawn, you need to get your house built, what do? You hire who? Mexican. What do they say? You hire a Mexican, right? That's why his name is that. Issachar means, in the Hebrew, means he is hired. That's a last day, that's an end time prophecy. This is in Genesis 49. Yep. It's an end time prophecy about this tribe. All these tribes have their own nomen omens. Because all these names, they have meanings. They're not given just for any reason. Right. These names all have meanings and they fit the descendants in the last days of what is going to happen to them. And so, you know, like this one, Native American Indians. Gad in the Hebrew means troop, like an army troop. So, the prophecy is that this particular tribe will be overcome in the end by a military troop. Now, in the Americas, the only group of people that had the last group of people that were conquered was the Native American Indians. Battle of Wounded Knee. Everybody else was taken down already. All the other natives of the other lands were all already fully taken down. It took until the Battle of Wounded Knee in South Dakota for it to finally end, and they created what was called the U.S. Cavalry to overcome the tribe of Gad. That's why the North American Indians fit that prophecy.
Right. So you're saying they all came out of Israel, spread, and then...
Correct. Right. Like, get second Esdras.
Yeah, it's the Apocrypha. Yeah, man.
Yeah, which the Apocrypha, you know the history about the Apocrypha. First of all,
it was taken out of the Protestant.
Oh, so you already know. You already know. Now, this particular, what we're also going to say, these are not the only people. Natives are not, and so-called black people of America are not the only people that are Israelites. Our people were in Korea. So we have people that are in Korea, Asia, Africa, throughout that were scattered. Because it was prophecy that we were going to be scattered. So go ahead and go into that.
It says, this is 2nd Esdras 13, starting at the 40th verse. It says, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
This is 8th century BC. Okay? When you look up the Assyrian Empire, this is 8th century BC in which this is referencing to.
And he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and that same region is called Arsareth. Then dwelt they there until the latter times.
So what happened was, when the Assyrian Empire fell, they were able to leave out of that captivity, and some of them decided to come to another land. They went through, in modern-day Iraq, they went through the river Euphrates and the Gulf, and took ships and sailed all the way to America. It took a year and a half for them to get all the way to what is now known as America's land. Let me prove it to you. This is the Jewish Encyclopedia. Okay. Now this is the Jewish Encyclopedia. This is their online. You see JewishEncyclopedia.com, right? This Arsareth. You see that at the top, right above the names, Arsareth. You see that?
Yes.
Show him. Yeah, that right there.
Arsareth.
See that? Now check this out. The name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel dwell, observing the laws of Moses unto the time of restoration, meaning until the end times, when the Messiah comes. And it says Columbus identified America with this land. Did you learn that in school? They told you about the Bering Strait, didn't they?
Yeah, they never told us
Now
that.
this is the truth.
And it lines straight.
You see that? Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Now, mind you, there's multiple books in which they wrote this prior to the 20th century, because they admitted it. Because during that time, the people that conquered this land, they could admit stuff among themselves,
Right.
Because they were already oppressing the people. They weren't educating anybody. Remember, we weren't allowed to read.
Right.
Everybody knows that history. So they can write all the truth among themselves and be like, yeah, we know that these are the children of Israel, and we're still going to oppress them. We're still going to commit the worst acts of genocide against them. So they knew this. The government knew this. George Washington, all of them. The Library of U.S. Congress is the largest in the world. They have everybody's documented information. They know who everybody is.
Right.
They know who they brought into slavery. They know all this. They know that the people that call themselves Jewish people, that they're not the real Jews. Their own people even write books that they're not the real Jews. Arthur Koestler. So they even know it. If he's lived over there.
Yeah.
They even say that they're not the real Jews. They know.
Yep.
The state over there is nothing more than what you call a proxy war state. It's a proxy military state for the global elite to control the Middle East. It allows them to have an army that they can build quickly, that they can do whatever they want in that region. It allows them to have the closer. It has nothing to do. That's go ahead.
Outside of that, the line of Ishmael is different than yes.
Say it again.
The line of Ishmael,
Yes.
It's different.
Islam, is different than the currently established Muslim nation.
Correct. Well, the line of Ishmael.
I mean, right.
Well, Ishmael. This is what it is. This is what happened. When you go back into the time of Muhammad, this is what's going on. Abraham had multiple sons, and the son that was given the promise was Isaac.
Right.
Then Isaac had two sons. The son that was given the promise was Jacob. What has happened is the other sons that descended out of Abraham that did not get the covenants are vying for the promise that is promised down to actual children of Israel through Jacob. So what you have right now is you have the people of Edom. Esau was the twin brother of Jacob that did not get the promise. They're the people that were prophesied to rule the world in the last days. I think if you do by process of elimination, who rules the world right now? So-called white people, right? Would you agree?
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because they were given that blessing to rule the earth in the last days. And it's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible.
Now, Ishmael, the children of Ishmael, they feel that they should got the blessing from Abraham, that it should have went to them. So historically, they have a grudge against the children of Jacob because they got the blessing, and they know this. Especially their elites, they know this. So what they had to do is they had to create a religion that was going to help them find a way to obtain a false blessing And that's the reason why they made Jerusalem one of their holy lands. Because they're trying to get they want the land of Israel that was promised to the actual children of Israel. But it was prophesied that the children of Israel were going to break the covenant, and they were going to be scattered and go into slavery throughout the four corners of the earth, and that the other nations, the natural Gentiles, were going to have possession of that land to the end. What you bring up?
Oh, wait, this is just to back you up on them ruling right now. Esau. This is Genesis 27 and 38. Now, after Jacob got the blessing, you know, then Esau comes in to his father, and this is what happens. And it says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even also me, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
This is his blessing. You shall get the best places of the earth,
and of the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And that's basically what it is.
So his blessing was the art of war. He said, you're going to get, he said, your blessing, even though you're not going to get the blessing that Jacob got, because Jacob's blessing is his descendants, a select few of them known as the elect, is going to inherit the everlasting kingdom. Now, the elect is going to believe on the Messiah.
Right.
So this is not, this gospel is not a modern racial category thing. It's a faith thing, because the only people that can believe in the gospel, the right gospel, not the one you hear in these churches, the correct gospel and preached the right way, are going to be the descendants of Jacob that were chosen to inherit the everlasting life. So he can look like you know what prototype is, right? You know what the word prototype. A prototype means first.
Yeah.
Proto, right? There is an archetype how forefather looked like, but his seed, his sperm, that was passed down throughout the four corners of the earth through scattering, is not determined by phenotype. Does that make sense? Yeah. So what I mean by that is, let's say Jacob looked like, this is according to scholars, archaeologists. They'll say that the prototypical Israelite looked like Denzel Washington. They literally, on Discovery, we're talking about it.
Yep.
Discovery did a thing where they excavated all the ancient bones of the ancient Israelites, and then they did a face thing, and they said this is how they look like. And the guy looked like Denzel Washington. Okay? Now, that man can his seed, generations exponentially, right, can end up looking like everybody on the planet. Because as long as his seed line continues, it doesn't matter how he looks like, because you know about biology. You know that men literally carry male and female sperm in their testes. Yeah. Women just carry an egg, and the egg is not alive. It doesn't swim. It just stays there. So when you have a wife, you literally, when you have a daughter or son, that son or daughter literally came out of it. Because they don't have this certain sex determining reproductive organs. You do. That's why the promises were given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons and one daughter. His daughter is Dinah. How come Dinah don't got a tribe?
right.
Because she can't pass down generations. She's just an egg. That's all she has. She's an incubator. The men carry the seed and carry the sons and daughters literally inside of them. You get what I'm saying? So the promises of the gospel is gonna go to that seed of Jacob that believes on the gospel.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter how you look
or where you're from on the planet.
So, but if you don't possess that, then
if you don't, correct. Then the way you know it is by faith. Get Galatians 3 and 6.
This is Galatians 3 and 6.
So it's outside though of freedom of choice. It's predestination.
Correct. The covenant itself is predestined. We can go into the old and new covenants so you can have a better understanding. You're not going to hear this in the church, but get that Galatians 3 and 6.
This is Galatians 3 and 6. even as Abraham believed the Most High,
by faith,
and it was accounted to him for righteousness. Know ye therefore that they which are of faith, the same are the children of Abraham?
so the ones that have faith, not fake faith, real faith in God, are the same, the true real faith are the children of Abraham.
Right.
Because that trait of faith is a marker that you are a descendant of Abraham, Isaac,
Right.
and Jacob.
Despite how
And you're of the elect of that group. Because all Israel is not, all the seed of Israel is not going to believe. Meaning that if I have a twin brother and he doesn't have believe, he's going to get destroyed. If I believe and I endure to the end, I get eternal life. He doesn't. Does that make sense? So it has nothing to do like, oh, no, that ain't that type of inheritance. It's just like you have a will, right? If you have two sons, and in that will you require them to do certain things in order to receive an inheritance, and one of them sons doesn't do it, it doesn't matter if both of them were your son. You're going to give the inheritance to the one that did what you said, right?
Right.
Because you have the right will and testament to do as you please. That's what the Heavenly Father did with his. He said, you gotta as part of my will, in order for you to inherit everlasting life, you gotta believe in my son, whose name is Yahawashi in the Hebrew. You gotta believe on him in order to inherit this. If you don't believe in him, you don't inherit it. And that's his will, right? So that's what it's talking about. Now,
Yeah, well, I got you.
Go ahead.
You had something?
No, I was just, it's just pieces. So then there is, though, a group that no matter what, even if they do have faith, they won't be saved.
correct.
Right.
There's a group that if they don't have faith, they won't be saved. Because you
Well, I was just
read
going-
this, and then we'll get a predestination scripture for you.
Yeah, this is Galatians 3:26. For ye are all the children of the Most High by faith through Yahawashi. So,
And he says, if you have faith, if you are indeed have faith, then you believe you are indeed the children, you are indeed the seed of Abraham, which that word for seed is sperm
yeah,
in the
on that
Greek,
line.
which means sperm, meaning physical sperm. Because you got to understand, we were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth because our people rebelled. So in order for him to redeem his people back, the ones that will believe, they have to believe by faith.
Right.
And then they got to be baptized in his one name, because the name Jesus didn't exist. If you know anything about linguistics, language, the letter J was not made until the 17th century.
Right.
So how could his name be Jesus? And Jesus is not even a Hebrew word. So there's a lot of different, there's a little bit of elements that someone has to believe in order to make that transition to really believe in him in order to be redeemed. So get 2 Peter chapter 1, and then I think it's elected foreknowledge. Is that it?
2 Peter.
Yeah, 2 Peter. Yeah, 2 Peter 1.
Say is multiplying the knowledge of God.
Is that elected? Go to 1 Peter. We're going to give predestination for...
Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, this is 1 Peter, starting from the top. It says, Peter, an apostle of Yahawashi, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of God the Father through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and the sprinkling of the blood of Yahawashi, grace unto you, and peace be multiplied.
Elect according to the foreknowledge, meaning you were chosen already before. So if you have the elect, in fact, it's like this. If you're of the elect, you can't even try to not be.
Yeah.
Because you're already created that way.
Because
you were created to believe in it.
It's going to be in your heart already. Because see, everybody looks at the facial or at the outer appearance. Just remember in the scriptures where it talks about David, he say,
Judge not.
Judge not. He says, I don't look on the outward appearance, the heart, the Most High looks on the inward.
Yeah.
So now, when today, a lot of people who are out here, they look on the outer appearance.
Yeah, like a lot of Israelite groups, when you look on the internet or you meet them, they'll judge everybody strictly on outward appearance. We can't do that. We understand the gospel. We understand it's based on faith. We do understand from this angle that the natives of this land fulfill certain prophecies, But we also do know our people were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And the documents are overwhelming when you go back.
Right.
You can see it because you can go to Acts chapter 2. In Acts chapter 2, it deals with Jews that lived in other countries.
Asia. Yep.
So how do you think their descendants are going to look like if they now?
They're going to look like
They're going to look like wherever they came from.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that they're not Israelite because the God of Israel, he doesn't look. He knows who all are his. He's not going to be sitting there like, how woolly is your hair? How big is your afro? How dark is your skin?
Right.
He ain't doing that. He's not, because he's not carnal like man. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be blind, and we have to base everything on faith and judge according to how someone interacts with the gospel itself. So that's why it says those that are of faith, the same are the children of Abraham. Because Abraham was a man of faith.
Right.
He was the man of major faith because he was willing to sacrifice his own son.
right.
It's something that no one is willing to do on this planet. If you had your only son, you old as hell, you know that this son is supposed to get inheritance, and then you're willing to actually do what the Heavenly Father gave to his.
That's true belief.
That's why he's a friend of God, right?
Thank you.
Hey.
A lot to think about.
It's good.
I'll look into it. Some Abernathy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you ever look up on the web, because man, there are tons of books. There are tons of books. 10 tribes of.
I'll show it to you.
There's like 10 tribes of Israel.
I'll show it to you on Amazon.
Yeah, by Timothy Jenkins.
I'm gonna give you one of our.
Yeah, I'll give one pause. Yeah, Lost Tribes in Promised Land by Ronald
And
Sanders.
the name of one of the big controversies is what's the name of the Messiah. The people that rule this world, it's their job to ensure that you don't ever come across that name. You never see it on TV. You never hear it on Christian radio. You never hear it in any of these mega churches. And the name is Yahawashi. That was what he was called 2,000 years ago. When you go into the ancient Hebrew, which we study, and many other people study, and even in certain books, they admit it. Because in certain books, they coded it and showed you the name of the Father and the Son, and they code it in their old books that they know it. They know they have to hide it because that's a name that the elect has to believe on. Now I'm going to show you the Abernathy one.
It's a good book. That's a real good book.
Back in 18 something. See, author Talmud Abernathy, the Jew, a Negro.
Look into that.
Yeah.
And then
a lot of this stuff. It's interesting to me.
It means because it's in you, man. You know, more than likely.
the most of the startling of the book years of research is unanswerable. Literally digest Abernathy's 1910 book, The Jew and Negro, has been analyzed by numerous modern authors studying race relations.
Yeah.
And it showed when they do the research and they go through all old, because you got to think about it. The Romans, right? The ancient Romans, who are just like America today. You look at this building. These are all old. These columns. These are all ancient Roman artifacts. This is Rome all over again. You don't think that those same people wrote about who they were and who the real Jews were in the land? They wrote about them.
Yep.
So all that information that they wrote about was hidden in the public school system. The public school system is designed to hide information. You know? So that way you don't get to them. If you find out the truth, you're going to realize everything's a lie. Yeah. And then you're going to realize, like, what can we do? And then you realize, you come to realization, we have no physical ability, we have no military to come out of this system. We need a savior. Yep. That's the conclusion. And that's where the gospel comes into play. When you realize you have no ability to take down the rulers of this world, you realize that you have to submit yourself to the will and for him to come and deliver you and to take down the rulers of this world. Because all empires fall violently. And that's the divine will of the Lord. And his elect men that believe they're going to actually receive all that stuff you see. X-Men, Marvel, they're going to receive spiritual powers. This is in the Bible. Now you have to believe this by faith.
It's all by faith.
And they're going to take down the rulers of this world and they're going to rule forever. on earth.
So though, I mean, different name, but Jesus personally still the Messiah? Writing still valid? Is that,
Yes.
Oh,
I know what you mean.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, it's still valid. That's why they had to take out the Apocrypha, create new what do you call it? Translations like NIV and ASB.
Yeah.
That's part of the whole thing, because that's part of what they had to do. You know the reason why they removed this out? This is, now mind you, if you go for 2,000 years, for about a 1,600 year period, this right here was in the Bible. Septuagint, Latin Vulgate, English Common Bible, Williams Tyndale,
Right.
King James. 1830, they take it out. You know what they also made in 1830? Mormonism. You know what also happened around 1830? British abolished slavery. So now you abolish slavery, your slaves are now going to start reading, you need to take this out.
You got to.
Because if you don't take this out, they're not going to. This right here is like,
It's like the key.
it's like the key. Because you know you're missing about 400 years of history when you just have the regular Bible without this. So what happened between the time that the Jews got out of captivity?
From Malachi to Matthew.
Yeah, from Malachi to Matthew, when Cyrus let them loose, and then all the way to the time the Messiah comes. What happened?
Yeah, we don't have anything.
This is where the Gentiles come into play.
Right.
The confusion about the Gentiles is actually in here, because it shows you that during the time of Antiochus, in the 2nd century BC, that many Jews were forced to become Greeks.
Right.
They were told that if your son was circumcised, Antiochus had his army put your kid to death, you and your kid to death, because you circumcised your son. It's in here. It was against the law to call yourself a Jew.
Right.
So what happened, they became Hellenized. That's where you start seeing, when you go to the book of Acts and you see Paul doing his ministry, that's who he was going to. Those people, that generations, they were Hellenized by force.
Right.
So that's why they were worshiping Diana of Ephesus. That's why they were doing all those things. Now, Socrates or Plato did an actual thing. It's actually, I actually see if I can find it. But you could go to one of his books and have his collection, right, of all his writings. He wrote about how he went down to Asia Minor, modern day Turkey, and he met a Jew that acted and thought like a Greek, meaning he was completely Hellenized. So who was he talking about? He was talking about our people, one that he met wearing togas, shaving their beards, and eating abominable foods, speaking Greek, all those things. Just like we were Americanized 2,000 years ago, our people were Hellenized. It's the same thing.
Same thing. Repeat.
Sorry, I gotta run. But,
Hey, no problem.
hey,
No problem.
what were your names?
Yeah, CJ.
Yeah, I'm like, Aaron.
Kyle.
All right, man.
Nice to meet y'all.
Yeah, we have a YouTube page. We have email. If you have questions, man, just email me. It comes directly to me.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't live here, but I will. I'm just here for a month, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Yeah.
We're here around 2, 3 o'clock every Saturday. So if you happen to come by again and you're walking by, feel free to stop by. If you can't, hit us up via email. We have a YouTube page.
I will, yeah.
But if you have any questions, don't feel free. If you want to ask about books, you want me to reference you to books and stuff, I can hit you with the Amazon links, and I can send you all that stuff, and you will see it. You see it yourself. And this is stuff that they have to hide in the school system.
One I'd like that me and my wife actually have been going through lately, deciding what to do, because the Apocrypha was taken out because things have changed.
Right.
It's very explicit not to do that.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
And so we've been very concerned. So this is
If
very
you
interesting.
if you get this Apocrypha, which is like $7, go on Amazon.
Yeah.
Read the book of Maccabees.
Oh, it
If you read the book of Maccabees, you know what's going to happen? You're going to look at that New Testament different. Then you're going to understand who the Gentiles were. Because it literally shows you how a subset of people, that's why there was division amongst the Jews that kept the customs, because they fought and died to keep their customs under the Hasmonean dynasty, under Judas Maccabees, which is what the book is about. And then the rest of them were like, to hell with it. I don't want to die. I'm going to be a Greek. I'm going to go do Olympics. I'm going to do Olympics. I'm going to do boxing. I'm going to do all that stuff. And I'm going to worship those gods rather than lose my life. It's like jihadism. It was like a form of jihad that the Greeks were doing. Die, either worship the Greek gods or die. That's literally what they did. It's like a form of jihad that forced a lot of people, our people, to convert And then hundreds of years later, by the time the Messiah comes, there was still that division.
Right.
Because you can imagine you looking at you're like, your family, y'all sold out. We fought and died to keep our customs. So that's why that's why some of them were apprehensive about those that had a Hellenized background from coming in and believing. That's where that division came in.
Yeah, we can leave you with this one because this is that Maccabees that really tells you about it. So it's first Maccabees 1 and 10, and it says, "And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned 130 years in the 7th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days went there out Israel wicked men."
So there was wicked men among the children of Israel, like your example, the Jesse Jacksons, your Reverend Al Sharptons,
Yep.
those type of high-level people that are in the public. What did they do?
They said, "Who persuaded many, saying, Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen, and that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people who were so forward herein, that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen." So that's when they turned.
Oh, and is that it yet?
Yeah.
That custom.
Oh yeah, well, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised.
That's where the uncircumcision, when you read the New Testament and it says circumcision versus uncircumcised, that's what happened. There was a subset of the Jews, the children of Israel, that stopped circumcising.
That's it.
That's where you get in and you see Timothy. His dad was a Greek, right? His dad was a Hellenized. His mom grew up in the customs, was a Jew. That's why he was uncircumcised.
Yeah.
That's why when you read in the book of Acts, Peter, the Jew, the people that grew up in the customs were like, "Is this man circumcised?" Because we know he grew up like a Greek.
Yeah.
And they knew that they didn't help circumcise the kids, and circumcision is a very big part of the old custom. That's why Paul at that time, for the sake of Timothy, circumcised him, but the circumcision was of the heart, meaning you believing. Because remember, before Abraham believed before he was circumcised.
Yep, there you go.
So that's why faith was overrode it.
Yeah,
at the end of the day. It wasn't about the flesh. That was just a sign of your covenant with him, but it came down to your faith.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very nice to talk to you.
All right, no problem.
I'll look for you when I'm down here next time.
Yeah,
all right.
Email me.
I will, definitely.
I have an email address there, man. If you got any questions, man, just hit me up. I don't care.
I'm sure I'll have a lot. I just need to read through some stuff and be in touch.
All right,
thank you.
Hey, no problem.
All right. And that one was mind blown. Mind blown.
Damn, shoot back.
And him and his wife have been discussing, they've been having spiritual discussions about the Apocrypha and all that stuff, man.
Yep. Hey, that's beautiful. Hey, well, let's start it up. Yeah. Let's go ahead and start up. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh the Father, to our Lord and Savior Yahawashi. Peace and blessings to you, brothers and sisters, waiting on the deliverance of our Lord and Savior Yahawashi. Right. As you see, we just was talking to a guy came up. He saw the sign, caught his attention. Brother started going into the information for him. It was heavy,
That sign can work on people that are technically not on it on the right hand side.
Right, man.
It's in there for a reason.
And man, it brought it. Yeah, exactly. It was a hooker.
It was a hooker.
It's like,
and he understood it when we broke it down to him, and then we were able to bring him right into the gospel, man.
Yeah, because that was like the mystery of the Gentiles for
this is
right there.
And what were we talking about before we're gonna start off?
Yep, we was gonna start on the mystery of the Gentiles.
The mystery of the Gentiles, man.
Yeah, man, that's the spirit right there, man. And that was beautiful how when I saw him come up, he was just up there, so I was like, hey, flip it on, man. That was a benefit right there, bro.
Yeah.
That just aligned right in with what we was talking about going to. But that was an awesome display, for somebody who doesn't really look the part, so to speak, like Israel, and so that people don't get that notion that you have to look like Billy D. Williams just to get this information, man. And you know, when I first saw him, I thought he was Hawaiian. You know,
Yeah,
I thought he was Hawaiian. He said he was Korean, but you know, like brother was going into Acts 2. You had Jews coming out of Israelites coming out of Asia, Egypt, Arabia. You know, so they gonna look like those people, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's something called a prototype, and then that's it. Proto, once is it. Proto just means first of its kind.
Right.
So after that, everything else by phenotype don't matter as long as the gene line is the same.
Exactly.
You know, and ultimately, like we said, we showed they're going to believe by faith. Everybody that believes is going to believe by faith.
And that was just a beautiful display, and it was so good because the brother was just totally locked in. He was just like, I know it was getting to a point where it was like, oh man, I'm getting overload. You know, it's like system overload. Hold up, Will Roberts. You know, it was a lot of information out of it because you could tell that he was.
He was trying to process each thing, and then something else will hit him. It's like eating food, and you put in more food before you digested the first one.
Right.
You know, so I knew eventually he was going to hit that point, but he saw that Jew and Negro. Yeah. Hey, we showed him the picture off the rip.
So it's good, man. That's some good information, man. That was presented to him, man. You know, it's also for edification for you on the camera and everything.
Right.
But that was beautiful, man. What can you say about that? You know,
yeah, like the brother was saying, you can't judge on outward appearance. You just can't, man.
Yep.
You can look just like Yahawashi and everything, man.
Right.
Be straight faithless.
Yeah, be straight faithless, man. You come, yeah, man. You know, because you see that a lot in Israel right now, man. Israel is operating on a carnal spirit, man.
Yeah.
Because see, I can tell you right now, some other people could have seen this cat come up here and ask about this.
They would have been calling all kind of slurs.
Yeah.
We seen it, man. You go on the internet, man.
Yeah, man.
Dudes are begging, you know, saying all that stuff. You like, dude, man.
You can't do that, man. This thing gets
dude can't peaceful, man.
Yeah, exactly. He can't.
Because the Most High going to have somebody come up who's going to believe. He's going to have them already in a certain manner.
Right.
A lot of times to where they can receive it.
Right.
You know.
What manner of man, you know, the Most High is gonna bring in, and that dude exemplified a lot of aspects. When you really look at it in the spiritual aspect, dude was like, oh, go ahead. He wasn't trying to overtalk him, because whenever you see somebody trying to overtalk you, man, they already trying to overtake what you're trying to say, but then they coming to you and asking you a question and then overtalk you. Man, that's not.
That's being combative.
Yeah,
you're trying to argue.
Yeah, man. This guy he came up, asked a question, boom, and he was just like, man, I thoroughly enjoy stuff like that, bro.
Yeah.
That just gets the juices flowing right there.
For real. Bro. You got to believe in the scriptures, man. Our people were scattered, so they ain't gonna sit, you know.
Right.
I mean, shoot, the Most High is, man. If the Most High was able, if the Most High would show you cinematically,
right,
he can show you the scattering cinematically of the last 2,000 years, your head will explode.
right.
He can't even show you that because your head will explode.
It'd be too much, man.
You probably have to freaking check out. You probably have to check yourself into a mental institute.
Yeah,
if he showed you that.
Right, man. Jake coming over here, going over there.
You know, this man war. He separated from his brother. He had to go here. He lived by himself. Then he had 2 sons. Then the sons had sons. And then the sons. Then Soviet Union came. Then he got into the army. Left Soviet Union, went to freaking this place and that place. And man, you be like, what the hell's going on with this guy?
Hey, man,
that's just one man.
Yeah, they had to be rolling like Doctor Strange on Avengers Infinity when he was like, man, your head would be going in there. Because man, when you look at it, it's just like the brother's saying, a Jake can mingle with Asian, and that offspring can look black and so-called Asian, right? Then that brother that came from that union can go over to a Edomite, black Asian, then he get with this Edomite sister or whatever.
Which is crazy because I have an example of what you just said. There's a girl that's an actress.
Yeah.
On ABC, she's going to be on a new show, I think, coming out in the fall, and that's exactly her situation. Her grandfather was in the military, went to Korea, married a Korean, had a son, and the son that they had married an Edomite, and had her sister.
So now look at what she's looking like, man. Somebody look at her and they be like, what's your dad look like? Oh, he this. Oh yeah, you ain't Israel.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't Israel.
Yeah, just her walking up, they're gonna be like, oh, she's this, she's that.
Yeah, man.
And that right there on of itself, that's in 2 generations.
Come on, man.
So that's why, you can imagine thousands of generations. That's why the elect is gonna get Proverbs 1. What's that? My soul seeketh for him that.
Proverbs 1.
Is that Proverbs 1? You find him whom my soul loveth. You know what I'm talking about? That's in Proverbs, right?
Let's see.
Well, can't find him whom my soul loveth. You know what I'm talking about? That's in Proverbs. I'll find it.
Yeah, but it just lets you know, according to the Spirit, if you're operating according to the gospel and the spirit of the gospel, that you have to be at peace with all men, not prejudging somebody when they walk up to you, so that you can have a conversation without any malice or debate, or just trying to up it just off of outward appearance, man.
Yeah.
And what you'll find, you can bring forth, bring forth fruit that the Most High is seeking, that was looking for, but if you were in a carnal state, you wouldn't have been able to do that. You would have judged from the outward appearance, and the person would have, just moseyed on down the road, man. But yeah, for a spiritual man, we got to be spiritual in every aspect, man. We got to be spiritual, conversation, in our actions, our thoughts, everything, man.
There's this to be possible, be at peace with all men.
Be at peace with all men,
and give an answer to them that ask it.
And that in itself, that statement that Paul made, allows for stuff like this to happen.
Yep.
Be at peace with, because see, if we're not being at peace with all men, man, we'd be in a carnal state, man, and just see guys and just be like, nah, brother, it's not for you. You got to go.
Yeah, he looked at us like we're true messengers of the Lord.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, what's crazy about it is that, as stereotyped as we are, as falsely so-called black men in America,
right.
One of the stereotypes is that we don't know anything.
Right, exactly.
If someone else comes up and they're potentially of the elect,
right,
the Most High going to have their mind to where they're going to overlook that, and he's going to lock them in and be like, these are men, you need to hear from.
Yeah,
and they have some valuable information.
And look what he came, man. This guy just came up here and when the treasure chest was open to him, and he just saw the treasure, bro.
And everybody else walking by us, and they think we're fools.
Yeah, they look at these guys with dresses on.
They don't know nothing.
Come on, man.
They probably don't know how to put together a complete sentence.
Right,
That's the type of stuff people when they walk by us.
Mm-hmm. They talking like, look at these fools up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, out here, look, calling us all kind of names and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But look what happened with this guy, man.
Yeah, thinking we were angry black men.
Yeah, right.
That's what they think.
Yeah,
These
man.
guys just angry. They're gonna just be cursing people out.
Man, so
it's beautiful, man.
Man, it is, man.
Man, when you just have faith, man.
That's what it's all about, bro. It's how beautiful are those who preach the gospel of peace, man.
And you get that Song of Solomon chapter 3. And it was one of Solomon's stuff. Song of Solomon chapter 3. It says, by night on my bed, I sought him whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not. Now that's what happens with a lot of these people that are looking. They're at home. They're with their wives, and they're trying to find, the truth.
Right.
Should we get the Apocrypha because maybe we can get more information and find him? And deep inside, they really don't know they're seeking for whom their soul loveth.
And you know
which
what?
Is Yahawashi.
And that was so beautiful because he was like, him and his wife was up there seeking for that, man. So his wife obviously is on the same page with him.
Yep.
Which, man, dude just walk in, and he's not even from here, bro.
Yep.
He just can't say I'm just visiting, and he just walk through and look how that happens, man.
And we help validate to him the Apocrypha in a short period of time. The brother came out with a good precept and validated to him the Apocrypha, and we just said, listen, just read Maccabees.
Yeah, just read
the Maccabees because the other stuff he can get to, but for the sake of him validating that, I said you're going to look at the whole New Testament differently.
Yep, that's
once
right.
You realize who was Hellenized.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, because that Gentiles, even in this time, it's amazing how those who are even of Israel still are so confused at the Gentiles.
Yeah.
Gentiles are very difficult for Israelite groups to understand, man.
Yeah.
Even today, that's what's so crazy about it. As much as it's been pushed out there, and people up here, you know, and it's been pushed out so many times the right way, but then it's like it's a reversal of it now, man. People like, oh no, Gentiles all is the other nation.
That's who the uncircumcised is. That's what they'll say. But
Yeah.
one, what's it called right there? That's who the uncircumcised. Now when you read the New Testament, it's going to be in your head.
You can see it. And like we went in last week when we was going into the doctrine of the promises and the covenants. When you understand that is strictly for Israel, this thing starts to open up for you. When you understand the first Maccabees 10, talking about when they forsook the law and became uncircumcised, this thing opens up for you. You have a different understanding. That's why the scriptures say, with all thy getting, get understanding.
Right.
So now, with these aspects, with this book out of here, man, it makes it difficult not to, you know, get the understanding of what this is saying, man. But it's beautiful, bro. That was good, man.
That was very good.
That was good.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's really one of the big mysteries, man. And what's crazy is that Esau made it more of a mystery.
Right.
By teaching Edomite Christianity.
Oh, yeah,
You know?
Yeah,
he switched it up and he made it more of a mystery.
Yep, he made it more of a mystery.
Because back then the mystery was that those that were Gentiles, those that were heathen, would be able to believe or inherit.
Right.
When according to Hosea, go ahead and get the Hosea or whatever you quote. You ready?
I was already there. Shoot, we can just start from the top and just going down. It says, this is Hosea 1. The word of the Lord that came unto Hosea, the son of Beri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel. The beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea. And the Lord said to Hosea, Go, take unto thee a wife of whoredoms, and children of whoredoms, for the land committeth great whoredom, departing from the Lord. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblam, which conceived, and bare him a son. And the Lord said unto him, Call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. And it shall come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And God said unto him, Call her name Lo-Ruhamah, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them by the Lord their God, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horse, nor by horseman. Now when she had weaned Lo-Ruhamah, she conceived and bare a son. Then said God, Call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God. Now this part right here, ye are not my people, this is where the disconnect of the Most High came with, when you can link that back to that first Maccabees. They started to make themselves uncircumcised.
Now, you have to explain, he's using these kids as an allegory.
As an allegory, exactly.
The names that were given to the kids was showing you what was going to happen to the children of Israel.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
It was an allegory. It wasn't just about those kids. He's after the kids are born, he's telling you, this is what I'm going to do with the children of Israel. And at this point, they are no longer my people. Right,
exactly. That name, Lo-Ami, not my people, man. You know, Nomen Omen linked in with the prophetic thing that was going to happen to him. That's beautiful. The way, man, the Most High is cold in these words, man. And it says, verse 10, it says, Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured, nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall it be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living God. So, come on, man.
So, and how does that happen? You believe by faith, therefore you're the children of Abraham. Come on, man.
Fire, man. Fire.
Not, oh, you're of the tribes. Oh, no.
Man,
we gotta get gospel related, not nationalistic, right?
That's right, man.
That's where it'll be told. You believe, guess what? Because you have faith, you are indeed the seed of Abraham. And if you're a seed, you are indeed what? An heir.
Oh man, that's fire, man.
Right?
Man, if you don't feel that, man,
Come on,
something ain't
man.
right, man.
Come on, man.
Man, that's fire right there, bro.
That's why we had to use that first John chapter 1.
Yeah, that,
About as many as believed on him, the same are the sons of the living God.
That's right, man. Oh man.
So you guess what? You believe in Yahawashi. You got baptized in His name for the remission of sins. You're a child of the Most High.
You a child of the Most High, man.
Because you completed this task. Mm-hmm. You believe by faith in the one who you had not seen.
Come on, man.
Right? Having not seen him, yet believed on him.
Hey, man, come on, man. Hey, what was that? Who was that? Was that Thomas? He said, I shall not believe unless I put my hands through his side, through his hand. And then he come, he say, hey, blessed are those who have not seen, bro.
And yet believe.
And yet believe. Come on, man. Man, that's beautiful,
Having
bro.
not seen him, yet believe.
Man, you see how beautiful the gospel is, man? That is beautiful, man.
Come on, man.
Hey, man, shoot.
Having not yet seen him, yet believe.
Oh,
believe.
God, man.
Come on, man.
Hey, man, this thing is fire.
You gotta understand how freaking...
How heavy that is, bro.
And how, like, exclusive it is. You know what I'm saying? You know how hard it is for someone to believe in Yahawashi and do the will? And say, I need to get baptized in His name for the remission of sins. I need to... That's freaking... That's like leaping over a mountain, bro.
Yeah. And look how simple it's laid into the scriptures. This is Mark 16 and 16. Look how easy it's laid into the scriptures. But yet, people can't see it. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved. But he that believeth not shall be damned. How easy is that, man? How easy is that, man?
Yep.
Come on. But then you'll have people that's been in the truth for years and they say, I can't see it,
Yep.
Woo! That goes right back into your Romans. Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh. The election have obtained it, but the rest is blinded. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Woo!
It's so heavy when you go into some of these different things.
God.
Like even the Caiaphas piece. It tells you, it says here, this is in 51, and this is John 11 and 51. It says, and he spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahawashi should die for that nation, and not for that nation only, but that he should also gather together in one the children of Yahweh that were scattered abroad. Who is he going to gather? The elect. That believed on him. Because how is he going to gather them together? They don't believe on him.
Right, exactly.
That's the children of God that was scattered abroad. He's going to believe on. Who are those? The Gentiles.
There you go. Look at that. It's simple. It's simple, man. It's simple. That's how simple it is. You know what? The gospel, man, understanding this gospel is simple, but then you understand why when Yahawashi prayed unto the Father and he said, Father,
but another nation though,
another nation.
Cornelius.
Yeah.
Because that's two separate nations. Not for that nation only. He says, not for that nation only, but also the children of God scattered abroad. So that shows you that he separated into two different nations, the Jews and the Gentiles.
Yep.
That's why he says, I cannot go into one of another nation.
Right.
That's why Peter said that, because they were another nation.
Yep. That's right.
They weren't the same people at that point because of the prophecy, Lo Amma.
Yep, there you go.
They are not my people.
Not my people. But then later on.
So that shows you, even in Caiaphas' understanding, he understood that there was two separate nations.
There was two.
The Jews and the Gentiles.
That's right, bro. He understood the prophecy of it, man.
That's John 7.
That's fine, bro.
Gentiles, where is that?
7 and 35. John 7. Yeah, this is John 7 and 35.
Come on, we about to hit this Cornelius thing.
Oh, man, this is
two separate nations,
Woo! This is John 7 and 35. I'm gonna start at 34. It say, ye shall seek me. This is red letter. Ye shall seek me and not find me. And where I am, thither ye cannot come. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles?
Now, come on, you just said that the scattered, the children of God that were scattered?
Right.
Scattered and dispersed is the same word.
Same word, bro. Same word. Come on,
Who was scattered? The Israelites. Those that were scattered out of the land. And primarily those that were they were in heathen customs.
Yep.
Because there was Jews that kept the customs that were not considered Gentiles.
Come on.
Acts 2.
Come on, man.
Those were not Gentiles. Those were Jews that kept the customs that lived in other lands. but they weren't heathen. They weren't rejected by Yahweh. Yahweh had rejected a certain amount of Israelites and made them heathen.
That's
Meaning
right.
when those kids came out, they couldn't believe.
Yeah.
He's like, they
automatic, bro.
Hellenized.
Automatic.
They automatically just Hellenized.
Man, come on, man.
He already made them. He already rejected a certain portion of the nation and just made them Gentiles.
Look at when Caiaphas, shoot, man. Oh man, this is so heavy, bro. Oh man, I love this, man. This is good, bro.
This is real good.
This is some good stuff here, man. But
that's why Peter said we could probably get your precept or whatever. We might be able to go to Cornelius just so because that's the major stumbling block in the whole Gentile thing.
Yeah, that Cornelius. We can start. You want to start from the top on Cornelius, or just go to the?
Go straight to the him having a discussion.
Okay. Let's see.
Because you got to remember, if y'all believe that Cornelius is a natural heathen, how come y'all don't believe about the Ethiopian eunuch? Ethiopian eunuch was before Cornelius. Yeah. So how come you don't subscribe Apostle Philip, to the Ethiopian eunuch as him getting a Gentile?
Right.
He was really an Ethiopian.
Right, exactly. Man, come on, man. Y'all got to see that piece, man. They see how it lines.
So that means that that really the Gentiles thing was opened up through Philip. But that's not what it says.
You're right.
When you go into the gospel, it tells you that the Gentiles ministry was opened up through Peter first.
That's right. That's right.
That Yahweh showed Peter, that Yahushua showed Peter that they had to get the Gentiles.
They had to get the Gentiles.
And then while that was happening, when he didn't even know about Paul and Barnabas, they were doing the ministry because the Spirit was with them to start to do that ministry.
Yep.
But the first one that the Most High chose was Peter to do it. And then when they came together, they realized, oh damn, we doing the same thing.
And then through the Spirit, he was like, we're going to Apocrypha.
That's why Paul said it must needs be that we go to you first, but first I go to the Gentiles.
Right. And then they came to the realization, they say this through the Holy Spirit, that the circumcision shall be imparted upon Peter, and then the Gentiles imparted upon Paul and Barnabas.
Right.
Yep. Shoot, man. Come on, man. Boy, I tell you, man, you know, once you start going through it and you just start, you get the history and understanding of it, just like when we went through the doctrinal promises and of covenants and everything. Once you go through the history, it breaks it down and it gives you a greater understanding. That way, when you hear somebody say something, it's like, oh yeah, look, you can get the other people in here too. No, you only got part of the information, man.
They're not part of the agreement, man.
Yeah, man.
They're not in the will.
Right. Just like with the Gentiles, man.
Yep.
You got to get the historical aspect of it and master that, understand that, and then go in here, and then you can understand the verbiage.
Yeah.
When they speak in these things, man.
Yeah, because it's important from a doctrine perspective. That has to be understood.
Yeah.
Not from a carnal looking on the outside. We're saying from a doctrine perspective, you have to agree with who the covenants were for.
Yeah.
A lot of people turn it into the carnal racial classifications of modern day.
Right.
And then they try and get confused with that.
Right.
That's why you have to understand what we're talking about when it comes to the gospel. We're saying that the covenants only belong to them, and we have confidence that we could preach to anybody that would hear.
Yep.
A lot of y'all don't have that confidence because y'all don't have yet to believe in the gospel.
Right.
So y'all don't have that confidence, so you have to resort to a carnal measuring stick when talking to people.
You got to, man.
You have to because you don't believe in the gospel, so you have to resort to a carnal version of it.
Man, it sure does take you to another level of understanding when you got this gospel, man. Because then, you find out that those that preach nationalism, man, the Most High has set you eons apart from these guys, man.
Light years away, literally, because Yahushua is the light.
Yeah.
So y'all light years away from the truth.
Yeah, bro.
Y'all still in darkness.
Come on, man. John, boy, hey, man, he was that light. Hey, man, come on, man. Oh, boy. Hey, well, let's jump into some Cornelius. This is I'm gonna start when he got with Peter and start the conversation. I'm gonna start at 10 and I'll just start at 30.
Well, we might be dealing with the beast, the creepy things.
Oh, you want to go into the?
Let's do that. Yeah.
You want to deal with that? Okay.
Because that's where some of the questions come in.
Oh, okay,
you know
okay. Yeah. It says. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna start
with the dream with the
Yeah.
Dated on the four corners.
Yeah, this is Acts 10. I'm gonna start at when the heavens open up. Yeah, there we go. Acts 10, and I'm gonna start at 9. And it says, on the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance and saw heaven open and certain vessels descending upon him, unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners and let down to the earth, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And the voice spake unto him again that second time, What God hath cleansed, that call not thou common. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again unto heaven. Now while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house, and stood before the gate, and called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, were lodged there.
Now, how many times did he see that vision?
3 times.
How many men came to him?
3 men. Come on, man.
And the vision was showing him that that the Most High was ready to cleanse the Gentiles.
Was ready.
These men were not practicing in the customs.
Right.
It's just like in our prior state, we had a certain faith in God, but not according to knowledge.
Right.
So we tried to be devout in our own way, but we had a sincereness. Some of us had a sincereness of trying to pursue him, just like Cornelius did.
Right.
And that's why Cornelius, he was giving alms.
Yep.
He was doing things.
Yeah.
But it wasn't revealed to him who he needed to believe upon.
Right.
And the vision was showing that he said, don't call what I cleanse common.
And that was going to Peter, because understand that even Peter, being who he was, still had that thing in his head of
that they were gone.
They were gone. We ain't dealing with these.
And you got to remember, he grew up in the land. So their custom was not to deal with them. They were another nation.
Yeah.
You got to understand, hundreds of years of assimilation into Greek culture and customs, and hundreds of years of continuing the traditions.
Right.
Man, that's 2 separate nations at that point in your mind. You might look alike, but you're like, them people is not us.
Like the brother said, well, like when we were in Hosea, lo ami, not my people.
Yeah, and that's what they were saying.
Yeah,
those are not our people.
That's not our people. Lo ami, man.
Them people are gone. The Most High rejected them.
Yeah.
Look at Hosea.
Yeah,
they'll go quote Hosea on them boys.
They'll quote, hey,
right?
That's right. They'll quote
them people gone, man. Forget them.
Caiaphas knew that stuff, man. Them people was learned men inside those scriptures. They understood prophecies. Bro. They were like, nah, man, them dudes right there, nah, them ain't our people right there, man. That's why that John 7:35, where he goes.
And there was rumors that shows you amongst the Jews and amongst Caiaphas, there was rumors that the Gentiles may be brought back in.
Yep.
Because they were like, where he gonna go to the Gentiles now? He already been talking to us. No.
Right, exactly.
So what's he gonna do next?
What he gonna
go talk to them people?
What he gonna do that for, man? What? He gonna go over there? Come on, man.
Right?
That
was the mentality.
That was the
mentality. Because he already done went through all Judea and all them provinces and Samaria, Galilee, Judea. He already done talked to all them people. So they're like, shoot, if he's already been talking to all of us and been preaching this gospel, where he gonna go next?
He even ran into a centurion. Come on now. That brother Yahawashi even ran into a centurion.
And that centurion was more than likely already a believer, a Jew,
already
a grew up custom Jew.
Although he was a centurion. See, what'll happen is Jacob look at that word and say centurion and say, oh, Roman, European.
Yep.
You know, automatically just come out the rip and say that was Esau. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
But we could be right here, and we can see a police chief of Houston be one of our people, but you would, in the history books, you later would think it's an Edomite.
And that's exactly how the churches will teach you.
Yep.
Because now look at how this thing will go. If you don't understand that concept.
That's why they took out that with the Apocrypha, they could put that bull over you.
Come on, man.
They said that centurion was a real Italian.
Look, he was a real Italian guy, and look, Yahawashi said he had more faith. I have not even seen that greater faith than Israel. So now when he makes that statement, you automatically saying, oh, anybody outside of Israel could get it. But that's not the case. Lo ami, not my people. Two separate nations, bro. Come on, man.
And that's why now when you get to Cornelius being a centurion, because y'all don't understand that the Roman army was multi-racial.
Right.
Y'all don't understand that. You can understand the U.S. Army being that, but for some reason you can't understand the Roman army when there's documents that the Roman army had all nations in it.
Yeah. Look at Septimius Severus, man. Come on,
man. Septimius Severus is historically documented as not being a natural Roman.
Come on.
And he was a soldier. He was in the army.
Yep. And wound up taking that bad boy and had the Severian dynasty.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Since the beginning of this place in America, go to all the wars. War of 1812, War of Independence. They've always had Israel in the wars, man.
Right.
Yeah, what was called native allies.
Yeah.
In fact, this dude, Jake from Blackstone Intelligence, had to get at him, man. He had to get at him on this little comment.
Okay.
Because he was talking about, because last week he put up about we need to protect America, the sovereignty of American flag, and he was trying to be on some patriotic stuff. And and a couple of us came in there like, listen, bro, America got blood on that flag.
Yeah.
Didn't let them know. And then we went into the Star Spangled Banner about how the Francis Scott Key, there's a couple of verses that they took out of it that deals with the hireling and the slave. And he tried to say the hireling was other the slaves were other Edomites.
Oh, come on, man.
It wasn't talking about black people. That's not what I was talking about. I was talking about those that were hired by the British. When you go into the War of 1812, in which that time was written, when you go into Wikipedia, it shows you that the hirelings were the natives because the native allies sided with the British in hoping to overthrow the American government. And then the slave was the Jakes that were enslaved at the time.
Look at that, bro.
That's why I said there should be no refuge for the hireling and the slave. Because the hireling was talking about those natives that were hired to fight on the side of the British. And then the slaves was talking about the Southern Kingdom.
And you know what, man? I actually like watching that guy, man. But see, that goes to show you that Esau...
He's a heartless Edomite. He don't have no sympathy.
Right. Because he'll bring out some very good historical pieces. But see, even with that, man, you got to be on your P's and Q's listening to these cats, man.
Yep.
Because they'll throw a monkey wrench inside of it because you'll be all glued in and say, hey, hold on, man. No, hey.
They want to make you think that everybody that fought these wars was just them.
Right.
That's why when you look at history, we always fought in the wars, man.
Always, bro. They had shoot, look at World War II. That was the only, man, they brought the Native American Indians in there to duke them boys, man, with that Indian language, man. They always bringing Jake in the mix, man.
Yep.
Without Jake, man, they wouldn't be.
And y'all never give great credit.
Never give
you Edomites go and act like y'all fought all these wars without Jake.
Without Jake, you wouldn't have won those wars, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Even your military, even your president, your generals know they won't win wars without Jake. And the same thing back then during the Roman Empire.
Right.
Any type of thing that they wanted to maintain, they had to throw Jake in there.
Right. Because that goes right back to prophecy, man. Because they understand that Jake is the stronger. Just like the brother brought out some before we even started camp about this football team, and they said that they didn't even want to play this particular football team because it was all Jake on that. Because he said they were bigger and stronger. That goes right back to the prophecies, bro. So yeah, man.
And this is back then before guns. So you don't think they're gonna be recruiting Jake and be like, yo, these guys can run faster than us, they can carry shield and buckler.
Right.
And they need money. Because we don't disenfranchise them. So who do you think is gonna be joining the Roman military?
Look at that.
Didn't the guy when he talked to Paul because thou speak Greek, he said, I have a great sum I paid this, it says, but I was freeborn. But that guy had to join the military and pay a great sum of his service. He had to do many years of service to become a Roman citizen.
Right.
That's what he was talking about. Because when you go into the ancient Roman Empire army, you had to do a certain amount of years of service before you were able to become a citizen and get land.
That's similar to what some of the Jakes did. Because when I went down to South Carolina and they did a historical, we did what they call a little historical tour. Now you had certain Jakes during that time that actually bought their freedom, and they'll give you a few guys that'll say, oh, well, Frederick Douglass brought his freedom and all this his stuff. You're like, man, look, he wasn't the only dude to do this, man. It was plenty of Jakes. You go down there to South Carolina and you'll find out that it was plenty of those guys that did that same thing. They went through a process, bought their freedom, and then did that thing, man. Just like they did in Roman times. Had to buy their freedom and become a citizen, and boom, he's in the military.
Exactly.
This is nothing new, man. This thing, there's nothing new under the sun. This thing recycles, bro.
Yeah, that's why we have to go into that historical piece. And again, what we're saying can be verified.
Yep.
You can look up the Roman military and see that there were multi-ethnic military. And they'll tell you that the ones that weren't citizens, how they got it, how they had to serve, how many years they had to serve before they could become citizens, and if they can possibly inherit land and have property rights.
Yep.
So that's what was going on. And then you had people, Jakes, that had multi-generations of being, you know, in the Roman military.
Yeah, yeah.
To where they were freeborn potentially, like, you know.
Yep, that's right, man. Just so you don't get it misconstrued with when you're reading the scriptures, man, you got to have that understanding of who these people are. If you don't know who it is that you're speaking to or reading about inside the scriptures, you will be lost. You can go to that church and they can just totally take you into the left stream, and you'll never be able to get the understanding of the scriptures.
Yeah, many Jakes that believe they're Israel began to reject as they saw Esau breaking stuff down. Other Jakes saying that they're Gentiles, the natural Gentiles we say, they left from the understanding of the new covenant pertaining only to Israel and started believing in that stuff again.
Right. Oh, and then looks like the proverb says, you know, talking about a righteous man falleth down 7 times and get back up, but the wicked shall fall. I can't remember how that scripture goes, but they falls only once or something like that, because he ain't coming back.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna come back to it, man. So, and then this is almost like willful sin if you Israel and you understand this and then you go back. That's like the proverb, the dog turned into his vomit, man.
That's right. Because that's what you believed before you came in.
Yep.
So you got to be very careful with that, because you're literally saying Yahweh's a liar, man.
And you know what? To do something like that, that'll lock you into that position, man, and you'll never come out, because, man, we've seen it, man.
There's many examples in Israel of people starting
bro.
of them being like, the Gentiles could be saved.
Come on, man.
Esau could be saved.
Man.
He could get the kingdom with us.
Hey, man, the Most High will bug you out. You cannot get to, man, you don't want to take this information and then go back, bro. I'll tell you that. You would not want to go back after receiving this, because, man, he will take it from you. We've seen many examples, even amongst this short time we've been, you know, watching people online and everything. People starting to, you know, go back to the old ways.
Yep.
Man, boy, I tell you. Yeah, so just to, you know, get you brothers understanding these Gentiles, man. It's talking about Jake. It's talking about Israel. It's all Israel. It's not speaking of other nations. So don't get in your mind. Y'all know GOCC always like, hey, everybody can come in. It's the wrong doctrine, man. It's not according to scripture. That's wrong understanding. So you bringing people in that don't even don't have no parts of your inheritance, trying to give you stuff away. The Most High's not gonna put you into the group of the elect and have you speaking things like that, man. The elect will never say something like that, like they're giving up their inheritance into some heathen nations, man.
That's right.
That's crazy. Never go into that peace.